Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris and welcome to another massive LEGO haul video. So finally, after several months of waiting, I've actually been able to receive all of the new Summer 2021 LEGO Ninjago and Marvel Superheroes LEGO sets that were released early in Europe, Asia, pretty much everywhere in the world except for the US and Canada. And thankfully, now that I've got these in hand, it's time to start taking a look and reviewing them. Now, typically I get these a little bit earlier than now. I've been ordering from the same site every single year, but unfortunately there were some shipping delays this time around. So instead of arriving on the typical arrival date of June 10, I instead had to wait until early July to get these, but still earlier than the official US release date on August 1st. I can't wait to take a look here. There are a few other extra surprises scattered around, so let's dive in and take a look. Okay, so let's get started with this massive Summer 2021 LEGO haul. You may have already noticed that some of these sets are actually built. It's because I bought 2 copies of some of the sets, like the Hydro Bounty right here, because I just couldn't wait for them to arrive sooner, and I got them from alternate sources which are able to ship it to me a lot faster. Here you have my favorite Ninjago set of the entire wave, and one of my favorite sets in a while. This is the fantastic Hydro Bounty. Love the fact that it includes a ton of interior space and also holds some mini vehicles inside. Moving on from that, now that we're on the topic of Ninjago, let's take a look at some of these other built sets. This right here is the Water Dragon. It's Nia's elemental dragon form, and it actually has a bit of a play feature. You can see pressing the button here causes the wings to flap almost like butterfly wings, which I think is a pretty unique mechanism for a LEGO Ninjago dragon. Over here we also have the Avengers Endgame Final Battle set from the Infinity Saga series. Love how LEGO's revisiting the previous events of the MCU movies, and obviously for a set like this, the highlight is definitely the many new figures. From a wide assortment of new characters to especially a new mold for the Big Fig Thanos, which I'm really hoping will get used in the future for other Big Fig characters, this is a pretty fun set, although the build is basically what we've gotten before. I'm going to be completely honest, my favorite thing about this build is probably the Ant-Man's X-Con van right here, with the quantum tunnel in the back of it. Just like that they actually decided to make that an official LEGO build, because the campus is basically stuff that we've just seen before for the headquarters. Moving on, the final set that I actually got early and built early is the Guardian's ship here. This is almost a UCS style ship with a whole display stand and everything. Kinda wish it came with a whole stickered plaque, but it's still pretty great, and this is easily the most detailed version of the Guardian ship we've gotten to date. Love the mechanism on the back here for the jet engine exhaust. Really cool use of some brand new pieces for 2021 to link stuff together, and it has just the right amount of friction to be able to move around quite well. I can't wait to hang this up from the ceiling, and looking forward to doing so. But now let's just start off with some of the figure lineups here. You can see it comes with all new versions of some of the Guardians characters, although very notably Drax is missing, which is quite unfortunate. Still, it's really cool to get new versions of many of these characters, and it was a fantastic build. Highly recommended. Now though, we can move on to the first Ninjago Legacy sets. This is a 4+ set, the final flight of Destiny's Bounty, based off of Season 5 Possession. Honestly, one of my favorite things about this box art is that you can see the original Ninjago City of Styx set all the way in the background, which if we set this down and take a look up here, you can see that it very much evokes the original skyline of the 2015 City of Styx set, which was of course in universe converted by the ghosts into a ghostly water town. Moving on to the set itself though, obviously since it's a 4+ set, there's nothing too special going on, very basic detailing, although one thing that I do actually quite like about this is the new printed dragon head up at the front there. I just think it makes quite a good figurehead near the front of the ship. Okay, but moving on to our next Ninjago Legacy set here, this is the Ultrasonic Raider featuring 2 new minifigures, the Mesmo Snake here for Legacy, as well as the Golden Zane, a golden figure which appears in many of the other Legacy sets for each of the ninja. Moving to the back here, you'll notice that this is kind of an amalgamation of both the Ultrasonic Raider and the Ultra Stealth Raider from 2016, because the side motorcycles or sidecars actually do deploy outwards, although it's not quite as seamless looking as the previous Ultra Stealth Raider because the side motorcycles are a little bit suspect. Of course, it does say it's just featured in Season 1 though, so I do like that they actually incorporated both the versions from Day of the Departed, Hands of Time, and Seasons 1 and 2. You can see them right here. You can see the original one from 2012 in the back, and the later one from 2016 up at the front right here. So you can kind of see how it's trying to evoke both of them at once. Moving on back to the haul here though, next up we can take a look at the Fire Dragon Attack. This is set 71753, featuring only one brand new minifigure, the limited edition Golden Nia figure, which is great to get. Really hope that hairpiece is used in more sets, and thankfully you can get it off of Bricks and Pieces, as I did in a recent haul. And you can see on the back of the box here, you can actually get a good range of articulation out of this dragon, especially featuring some of the wings fully folding up right here. Love the cloth element that was used for the wings and can't wait to actually get my hands on it and play around with it, as well as a removable saddle, so you can actually have it in its more wild and natural form. You can actually see that they've done a legacy version of this entire dragon before, but it was a 4+ set, so it's a little goofy looking, obviously very simple compared to the original, and I'm glad that they didn't just leave it at that and actually try to do the original version justice, which I already think is a pretty decent dragon on its own. Now, if only we could actually get the Fire Temple to go alongside it. Now that would be really cool, because I'd love a remake of the original Fire Temple set. But now we can move on from this set in particular and go on to our final Ninjago Legacy set, just a very simple 4+ Kai's Blade Cycle, featuring no new exclusive or special minifigures whatsoever, just stuff we've seen before. This is basically just the 4+ version of the Kai's bike, which we already have actually gotten in Legacy before. Kind of the flip scenario of the dragon. This time we got the normal Legacy version first, which you can see here, and now we're getting the 4+ version, versus the dragon, which had happened the other way around. You can also see up on my wall the original version right here, which I honestly will say is probably still one of my favorites due to the really fun function and the more beefier look and feel. But now we can move back to the haul here and take a look at some of the other sets. Moving on from Ninjago Legacy, let's start off with Ninjago Season 15 or 14, depending on how you want to look at it, Seabound. So this is the Ninja Sub Speeder, and honestly I wasn't the biggest fan of this before I saw it in the show. Didn't really make too much sense to me for there to be a car underwater, but after I saw the transformation feature in the show and saw it on the back of the box, I started to like it a lot more, and I actually have come around to really liking the set. Now, I only do kind of wish that the front wheels flipped the other way. I think it looked really cool the way they flipped upwards in the show. Not sure if you can do that on the actual set, but I will have to find out. Overall though, I think it's a pretty fun, if simple, transformation feature, and I certainly am looking forward to building this and adding it to the collection of Ninjago vehicles. Moving on from this though, let's take a look at two of the smaller sets. This is Lloyd's Hydromech, and you might be wondering why I actually got 2 copies of the set, and the reason for that is because, well, one, I'm not the biggest fan of the build, and I really wanted to take one to modify myself, or at least modify based off of someone else's upgrades from the instructions posted online, like for example, this one posted on Instagram. I'm going to show a picture of it up on screen. Really love the way that this looks, but going back to the official set, think it's just a little bit awkward looking. The side shoulder plate is just a tad too big, and the claws don't really match up to what we saw in the show. So I just got 2 copies to mess around with, to keep one in its standard set form. From there, we can move on to the Temple of the Endless Sea. This is the second largest Ninjago Seabound set, clocking it at $100 US, and it features the mighty Wojira snake. You can see at the bottom right here, it has several new minifigures. The only exclusive ones are Prince Benthamar, as well as the servant, the Mer servant for Kalmar with the mechanical limbs. You can notice right here that this, obviously the highlight of the set, features the great sea serpent Wojira. Really love the detailing on the head, but one thing I do wish was a little bit better was that it could hold, 1, both amulets, and 2, I really wish it could hold them on its forehead like you could see in the show. It was a major plot point in the show that you could place the 2 amulets on Wojira's forehead, and unfortunately you just can't do this with this set. The build just doesn't accommodate that. Moving the set around, you'll notice some pretty fun play features. You can actually chomp Wojira's jaws together, and it is a pretty decent sized underwater temple build. I'm quite excited to build the Wojira Serpent, and maybe might even be upgrading it to be even larger to battle the ninja in certain dioramas. Right here you can see some additional features of the set, just some pretty basic stuff we've seen before, and even an unlocking mechanism to release the Great Serpent. I also love the Energy Nia figure, probably one of my favorite Energy Ninjago designs, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it, so I already actually got that one off of Bricks and Pieces, although it's really nice to get a few more to add to my collection. And with this set, we've about wrapped up our coverage of all of the new Summer 2021 LEGO Ninjago sets, either Seabound or Legacy. But before we zoom out and take a look at the other sets for this haul, there's just one other Ninjago item we have to take a look at here. Now, moving on to this box right here, it actually was a pretty special free gift that I received specifically from the store that I get these from. I purchased these sets from a German retailer, and they included a very special custom free gift alongside it for purchasing this many sets. The retailer is JB Spielwaren. They typically used to have a Bricklink store, but since then have branched off to their own online retail, and they've actually been including some stuff like this. So we've got a titanium mech polybag in there. Already picked that one up, but nice to get another one. They have one of the magazine free gifts in the form of the Forbidden Spinjitzu J from the 2019 Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu Wave. And they've also included one of the Ninjago Legacy sets, the Jungle Raider, which was just released last year. Pretty cool to get a new Ninjago Legacy set, actually a full-on $10 set as a free gift. You can see it already displayed on my wall right here, right next to the original 2015 Jungle Raider, but it's nice to get another one, and I might just sell it or give it to someone else or use the parts for something else. Moving on, this is a pretty special free gift that they made a custom minifigure for. Just kind of a cute thing, not an official LEGO product, it's just something that they came up with themselves. But this is a Nia figure with a very cute and special shirt printing up the front that they just created themselves for the I eat squid for breakfast tying into the Seabound wave. So just kind of a nice figure design and pretty unique to get a custom figure to go alongside these sets. They also threw in a fun sticker for this as well to go alongside the Seabound wave, which is nice to have a certain theming for purchasing all these sets. Now there is one other free gift here that was actually not part of this shipment. Actually, this is a very special free gift that is location exclusive. You see over the past weekend, a brand new flagship LEGO store, which is now the largest LEGO store in the world, just opened on 5th Avenue in New York. And you can see it has a very special either print or sticker saying 5th Avenue 2021 for this LEGO retail special at free gift. I included it in this haul because I just was able to get it. Really thankful to a number of friends who were able to come together and manage the supply chain logistics for getting this to me in a timely manner. So shout out to Johnny, Cindy, Raymond, and Rohit for making this all work out to get this set to me. But really happy that I had some friends in New York who were able to pick this up. It's a very special free gift because it's not often that LEGO does retail location exclusives anymore, but that is what it is. Now moving on though, we can take a look at some of the Marvel Infinity Saga sets. Let's kick things off with the first and smallest of the wave, 76186 Black Panther Dragon Flyer. One thing I love about this is that they're actually including a brand new Shuri minifigure, looking fantastic, easily the best version of the character we've gotten to date, as well as the new Black Panther who also appears in the larger sets. Now, ever since I saw this vehicle on screen, I was wondering if LEGO would ever make it into a set, and it does not disappoint, because I really like that it translates very well to brick form, and you can even see it in its landing or docking position on the side of the cliff here. Of course, the Chitauri Warrior is basically just the standard one across all of these newer sets, but again, you can see that fantastic Shuri right there. Moving on, we have Iron Man Ironmonger Mayhem from the very first Iron Man movie. The size is a little off, as you can see here how small Iron Man is compared, but it's nice that the minifigures are all completely brand new. These are 3 new minifigs for summer 2021, although some of them reuse torsos and headpieces from other places. Now this obviously is a little oversized, but I do actually kind of like it, and I also really like how many of the pistons on the actual body you can see on the arms there actually do function with the mech itself. That being said, this is 1 out of 3 Hulkbuster size stuff so far that we're getting, so I can see them getting a little old. But again, nice to get these figures, and the glow-in-the-dark chest is really cool as well. Moving on, we have the massive Infinity Gauntlet Adult 18+ styled building set, Really a big fan of these. You can see some of the other 18 plus sets right here, like the helmets and Star Wars droids and whatnot, kind of in the similar sub-theme or sub-line as these, but of course, it's a bit of a different building sculpture. And as we go on back to these sets here, you'll notice that this is really well done in the nice gold color. This is the drum lacquered gold for most of the pieces, and you can even perform the full snap on the gauntlet right here. Really looking forward to building this and playing around with it. Nice to see how it compares to the official gauntlet in images, like you can see right here, and it does look like it is a pretty sizable model as well. With that though, we can move on from this set and take a look at one of the last Infinity Saga sets that we have in this entire haul. Coming up right here is the smallest 4+ set, Captain America and Hydra Face-Off. This is very notable for including 2 brand new minifigures, a new updated version of Captain America's Age of Ultron outfit, which you can see right here, as well as the Hydra Agent, which is a new version based off of their appearance using Chitauri armor in the Age of Ultron movie opening scene. I find it kind of funny how this and the Ninjago 4+ bike are basically identical and just color swapped. Usually pretty rare to see that sort of thing happen across different themes, much less a licensed versus non-licensed theme, but it is kind of funny seeing that. But with that, we've basically summed up this entire summer 2021 haul, besides just some random free gifts that they threw in here and there, like the video box and whatnot. This is basically everything to see, and let's zoom out now for the conclusion. Okay, and with that, we've summed up this look at the massive Summer 2021 LEGO haul. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of these sets? Do you own any yourselves? And if so, which ones are you most excited to build? Thanks all for tuning into Duckbricks, and stay tuned for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. Thanks, and bye-bye for now.